تقيه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد عن عائشة رضي الله تعالى عنها قالت قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله رفيق يحب الرفق في الأمر كله أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Most respected ulama, elders, beloved brothers, the hadith that I have quoted is a hadith of Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. In this hadith, Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Inna Allah ta'ala rafiq. That Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala is very soft. Allah ta'ala is very gentle in all Allah ta'ala's matters. People, they commit kufr, they commit shirk. There are people that are atheists, they say that they deny the existence of Allah ta'ala. But Allah ta'ala takes care of everyone. Inna Allah ta'ala rafiq. Yuhibbu rifqa fil amri kulli. And Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala loves gentleness in all matters. In all our matters, we have tolerance, we have gentleness. This is beloved to Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Now behind this hadith, there is a particular incident that had transpired, that had taken place in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam was residing in Madinatul Munawwara, then the Jews were also residing in Madinah Sharif. And these Jews, they are the arch enemies of Islam right up to this day. Quran says, لَتَجِدَنَّ أَشَدَّ النَّاسِ عَدَاوَةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الْيَهُودَ وَالَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا. That you will find amongst the people, those that have the most enmity for the mu'mineen are the Jews. On one side, look at Israel. We got the Jews on one side. وَالَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا. And the mushrikeen. Look at Modi on the other side. Both of them working hand in hand. Their troops are all there in Israel. So these are the two arch enemies of Islam and the mu'mineen. But today, al-kufru millatu wahida. The kufr is one religion. They are all one today. There is one common enemy. That is the mu'min, that is the believer, and that is the deen of Islam. So nevertheless, these Jews also resided in Madinatul Munawwara. So these Jews, whilst residing in Medina, they had a lot of hatred every time, all the time desiring some harm must come to the Muslimin and the believers. On the other side, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he would teach Sahaba that when you meet one another, then always make salam to one another. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Which is also becoming very, very rare. That one of the signs of Qiyamah is that you will make salam to people that you recognize. And people that you don't know, you're not going to make salam to them. One occasion, we were in Makkah Sharif. So where the Shuhada Hotel is, I don't know if it's still there. Where the Shuhada Hotel is, so I was perhaps standing outside getting ready to go for salah. So whilst we were standing outside, Maulana Farooq Makki Sahab, Damat Barakatum, I didn't know him at that time. So he passed by. And I didn't even hear him make salam as well. So he passed by and he went away. So that night, there's a markas also in Makkah Sharif, although it is undercover, but the Tablighi markas is there. And our Akabirin also come to the Tablighi markas. So that night, the following night, we went to the Tablighi markas. So the brother that is in charge, that is actually his home, by Ma'mur. His name is Ma'mur. So he said that, you people stay here tonight. Don't go away from here. You all came for Gush. Spend one night over here. He said there's a great difference between staying here and staying in the hotel. So we couldn't understand at that time, we were still very young and we were in madrasa, we were still studying. So he's saying that to stay over here in the markas, he said this is like Zamzam. And he said staying in the hotel, that is Pepsi. So we couldn't understand what he meant at that time. But nevertheless, we gave in and we said, okay, we'll stay over here. So Mullah Farooq Makki Sahab, Damat Barakatum, he came. And Allah Ta'ala has blessed him with such ulum, such knowledge. Because so many years he stayed with Mullah Sayyid Khan Sahab Rahmatullah alayh. So he proved Dawat and Tabligh from the Quran. He started from one side, from the beginning, and he completed right till the end. Para after para. He explained, he said, see, Dawat and Tabligh is proven from the Quran Sharif directly. So nevertheless, before he started, he said, this person, I saw him outside the Shuhada Hotel. He said, but I made salam to him, he didn't reply to my salam. But I didn't hear the salam, and I didn't recognize him. So he said, this is a sign of Qiyamah. When you know somebody, you're going to make salam to that person. And the person that you don't know, he said, you will not make salam to that particular person. So here also, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught Sahaba that when you meet one another, make salam to one another. And this salam,
Where did we get the salam from? Tahiyyatan min indillah. It's come from Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Direct from Allah we got the salam. Mubarakatan tayyiba. And this is the salam that is full of barakah. There's blessings in this. You enter your home and you make salam. There's barakat in your home. You enter your shop, you make salam. There's barakat there. You enter your car. There also you're supposed to be making salam when you enter your car. But these are instances where we overlook this. Sahabi came to Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, I have financial problem. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said, Bismillah. Read Bismillah, read Durood Sharif, make salam, and read Surah Ikhlas. Enter your home. See how Allah Ta'ala will give you barakat. And after a little while, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam met the Sahabi. He said, asked Sahabi, how is everything going? Sahabi said, Ya Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, so much barakat, I'm spending on the neighbors also. I'm spending on the relatives also. All this through the barakat of salam. So when a person is making salam to another person, then one is, we are making dua, because salam means peace. So we're making dua, Allah Ta'ala grant you peace. The second meaning of salam is, one of the names of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is salam. As-salamul mu'minul muhayminul azizul jabbarul mutakabbir. So as-salam is a name of Allah. So we are telling the person, may Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala be with you. And the third meaning of salam is, we're giving guarantee to the person, you are my neighbor, don't worry, you got salamati from me. I will not interfere with your home. I will not interfere with your wife. I will not interfere with your daughter. You're guaranteeing that person, no harm is going to come from me to you. But unfortunately, to a great degree, salam is left out in the ummah. Nevertheless, Sahaba used to make salam. Now, these Jews that were in Madinatul Munawwara, these Jews also used to make salam. They used to come to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they used to say, Assalamu alaikum. Instead of saying Assalamu alaikum, they used to change it a little bit and they used to say Assalamu alaikum. So initially Sahaba, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't pick it up. That what are these Jews saying? Instead of saying peace be upon you, they are saying destruction be for you, death be upon you. So they were cursing Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So after some time, Sahaba Ridwanullah alayhim ajma'in, they understood that they are changing the words. That is why it is so important that today when we make salam clearly to somebody else. Not like how the Jews made salam. They didn't make salam clearly. They changed the wording of the salam. So salam must be made clearly when we make salam to somebody else. Today we sit with the phone. We're sending WhatsApp messages all the time. On the WhatsApp message, what we writing there? SLM. SLMZ. Where is that? Is that salam? That is not salam. That's got nothing to do with our deen whatsoever. In fact, in the kitabs it is written, in the current kitabs of Fatawa, that if a person, he makes salam in that way, SLMZ, normally when somebody makes salam, is wajib to reply to that salam. If the salam comes correctly on the WhatsApp message, then a person should reply in writing, or if he verbally also replies, the wajib has been fulfilled. But if somebody is writing SLMZ, you don't even have to reply, because that is not a salam. Assalamu alaikum is something else. At SLMZ, it is something else altogether. So nevertheless, these Jews now, they started saying Assalamu alaikum. So on one occasion, Sahaba were sitting with Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. With Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, he says, as Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. This was the time when the laws of Parda were not yet revealed. So the Jews came to Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam and they said, Assalamu alaikum. So Nabi alayhi salat, so Aisha radiallahu ta'ala responded. She said, Wa alaykum as-sam wal la'na. That may destruction and may death be upon you as well. And may curse be upon you as well. That you're making salam to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in this manner. So the Jews, after some time, they left. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam called as Aisha radiallahu ta'ala. Look at that tolerance. Look at that gentleness. Look at that softness. He said, Oh Aisha, what did you say to the Jews? Why did you respond to the Jews in this manner? So as Aisha radiallahu ta'ala said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, didn't you hear what these Jews said? Didn't you hear they didn't make salam to you? They actually said, Assalamu alaikum, destruction be to you, death be upon you. And Sahaba gave their lives for Nabi alayhi salam. As Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, what love she had for Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. How would they tolerate somebody cursing Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam? So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam tells us, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, Inna rifqa la yakunu fi shay'in illa zanahu, wa yunza'u an shay'in illa shanahu. That this gentleness, this tolerance that a person has, in the rifqa, when it is not in something, when it is in something, then it beautifies everything. If a person has a little bit of tolerance, so much of beauty in all his matters, in his home there's beauty, in his business there's beauty, in his interaction with other people there's beauty, why he has tolerance in him. And when this tolerance is taken out of a person, then the beauty is also removed. That now becomes a defective, that becomes now defective. On another occasion, one Sahabi, Bedouin Sahabi, the Bedouin, they did not know what is etiquette. They were void of all etiquette. says. So this Sahabi was a Bedouin. He comes to Masjidun Nabawi. When he comes to Masjidun Nabawi, he reads 2 rakats of namaz. And thereafter he picks up his hand to make dua. And what dua does he make? Allahumma arhamni wa Muhammada wa la tarham ma'ana ahada. Oh Allah, have mercy on me and have mercy. Don't have mercy on anyone else with us. Only on the two of us. So Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam heard this dua. When he heard this dua, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, لَقَدْ جَرَّرْتَ وَاسِعًا. That you have restricted someone that is so vast. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala's mercy is so vast. You have restricted that mercy and that rahmat of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. They say in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, 2 names of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala are used over here. One is Rahman and one is Rahim. In Rahman is Amur Rahma and in Rahim is Tammur Rahma. Amur Rahma means the rahmat of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala was in everything that was created in the world from the time of Hazrat Adam alayhi salatu wasalam right up to now. And everything that will be created from now right until the day of Qiyamah, the rahmat of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will be in that as well. That is how it will come into existence. Because the rahmat of Allah. That is why they say that this name, Rahman, it cannot be given to any human being. This is exclusive for Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. 2 names of Allah. One is the name Allah. You will never find a dual for it. There's only singular. Allah is one, so there's no dual. And there's no plural for it. And the name Rahman also, there's no dual for it and there's no plural. Because there's no human being in the world that can shower His rahmat upon the entire makhluk and the entire creation. It is only Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So here also Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, لَقَدْ جَرَّرْتَ وَاسِعًا. Somebody that was so vast, you have restricted that rahmat and that mercy of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. After a little while, the Sahabi gets up and he walks to the courtyard of Masjidun Nabawi. Now imagine, we're talking of the Haram Sharif, Masjidun Nabawi. And in the courtyard of Masjidun Nabawi, he starts urinating now in Masjidun Nabawi. He's a Bedouin, he does not know etiquette. Sahaba are enraged, so now they want to advance towards the Sahabi. When Sahaba get up, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, leave the Sahabi alone. He said, leave the Sahabi alone. That by you getting angry with him, reprimanding him, you're not going to stop. He's already started urinating. So leave him. Du'uhu wa ahriqu alayhi dhanuban mimma aw sijlam mimma fa innama bu'istum muyassirin wa lam tub'athu mu'assirin aw kama qala alayhi salatu wassalam. That take some water and just pour some water over this napaki that is here and remove the napaki that is here. And then Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, you have been sent to make things easy for the ummah. You haven't been sent to make things difficult for the ummah. So a great lesson again we learn from this incident of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, tolerance, that learn to tolerate people. If this tolerance comes into the ummah, how many problems in the ummah will then be resolved? And what is the opposite of this tolerance? The opposite of tolerance is anger. A person that doesn't have tolerance, he's going to vent his anger. Now there's a senior. Now you're angry with the senior, but you can't vent your anger because he's your senior. You're working for a boss, you're angry with the boss, but you can't vent your anger there because that is your boss, that is your senior. So now what's going to happen? What is the consequence of this anger? What is the result of this anger? Now hatred is going to come into the heart, which is haram. Now you're going to hate the man. Now hasad is going to come into the heart. You're going to be jealous of the man. Now a person is going to have malice in his heart. Because you don't like the person, so there's malice in the heart. Now you're going to start making ghibat. You're going to start talking to other employees about, see, one problem, anger came in. Now how many other illnesses came in with that? And all these are totally haram. But if a person had little bit of tolerance, then the matter would be resolved. It is mentioned, one buzruk, I think it was Mirza Jana Rahmatullah, very, very great buzruk. But he had a very, very delicate temperament. Such a temperament that if the cup on the top of the flask, if the cup on the flask was a little crooked also, it wasn't put properly, it wasn't set properly, immediately he will become restless. So that was the temperament of the man. Anything is not right, then he wanted everything to be meticulous. Everything must be 100% in order. Something is not in order, immediately he becomes restless. If the bedding is not put straight, just something is not right in the bedding, his temperament was such that he couldn't tolerate it. So Allah Ta'ala inspired him that there is a particular woman in the town, that if you get married to that woman, I will honor you, I will give you a lot of respect, and I will give you a lot of honor. When he was inspired with this, immediately he sent a proposal for that woman. And the woman, she accepted the proposal, he got married to her. It is mentioned, this woman, what a tongue she had. That when he used to enter the house, when he used to come into the house, from the beginning to the end, she used to just sway him left, right and center. But what he used to do, look at that hilm, look at that tolerance. He would just sit down. And he would listen to all that, and then he would go away after that. When she was finished, then he would leave. He wouldn't say a single word. Now that is what you call tolerance. So he would listen to all that and he would leave. In spite of that, every morning from his khanqa, he will send one khadim of his, one servant of his, go to the house and ask her what's the list, what she requires for the day. But the condition is, when you go there, then I don't want you to say a single word. Whatever she's going to say to you, you tolerate it, but you don't say a single word to her. So every morning the khadim will go. She would reprimand him, and she will be vulgar to him and say so many things to him, but he wouldn't say a single word. He will bring the list and he will give it to Mirza Sahib. It is mentioned one day, he sent one person that you go and you get the list. This person, he had a lot of love for Mirza Jana rahmatullah alayh. So he couldn't tolerate anybody is going to talk bad about my sheikh. He got so angry, he said, if you don't stop, I'm going to kill you now. So Mirza Sahib heard about it, immediately said, no, call him back. He doesn't know how to deal with the situation, he doesn't have tolerance in him. So this person now came back. He sent another person, he went, he got the swearing, he got the list now, and he came back to the sheikh. Then Hazrat told him, he said, see, I had this temperament where I used to become irritated. With every small matter, I become irritated. The clothing is not right, I'm irritated. The bedding is not right, I'm irritated. If the cup is not kept right, I'm irritated. But when she started picking on me, she became vulgar towards me. He says, all this entire condition that I had, he said, it completely disappeared. My total islah and my reformation took place just because of this woman. So Allah Ta'ala promised him that you take care of her and just tolerate her and see how I will raise you. It is mentioned one person, he went to one buzruk. Now buzruks also, the pious people, they have different temperaments. Everyone is not the same. So we can't raise objection. People raise objection. Why this one is so soft and why that one is so hard and why this one is like this and why that one is like that. So one person, he went to one very pious person. He said that I want to see the different temperaments of the buzruks. So never ever test the pious people, the awliya, the friends of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Never ever test them. But nevertheless, he said, I want to see the temperament. So this buzruk, he told him, he said, why do you want to see the temperament? There's no need for you to see this. So he said, no, I want to test it. I want to see the different temperament. So he said, in Delhi, there's a particular masjid. I want you to go to that masjid, and in that masjid, there are 3 buzruks that are sitting there. I want you to go there, and I want you to give each one a punch on the back. That's all I want you to do, and then you come back to me and you report to me. You will see the temperament of the different temperaments of the pious people as well. So this person now, he went to the masjid in Delhi, he punched the first buzruk. The first one, he didn't even turn around, he didn't even see who punched him, he was in his zikr, so he continued with the zikr of Allah Ta'ala. So he went to the second one. When he went to the second one, he punched him. The second one, he turned around, he gave him back one punch. And then he went to the third one. When he punched the third one turned around and he said, but you got hurt. You punched me with your hand. Did you get hurt also? So he saw now the temperament of the 3 buzruks. Now he came back to that great alim, that great sheikh now, that sent him over here. So he reported, when I went to the first one didn't even pay any attention to me. When I went to the second one, he punched me. And the third one asked me, did you not get hurt? Did you get hurt also when you punched me? So then he said that, tell me the second one, when he punched you, did he say anything? Verbally, did he say anything or he just punched you? So he said, no. Verbally, he didn't say anything, he just punched me. So then he explained. He said, you see, the first one that you went to, he thought to himself that what am I really going to get in taking revenge? If I give this person a punch in retaliation, what am I really going to get? I'm not going to get anything over here. All that is going to happen is that anger that is within you, that is burning in you, you're going to vent that anger. But if you overlook it, you'll spend that time now in the dhikr of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And this condition of yours, where you overlooked him, this will extinguish even the fire of Jahannam. The example has been given of this. The example that has been given of this is one person, the king has called him. And the king says that I'm going to give you a very, very, very valuable gift. So now this person had to get to the king at a particular time, but he is late. Now he's running to the king. As he's running to the king, one person punches him. You think he's going to have time to worry who punched him? He's got to get that valuable gift. So he needs to get to the king. So this person also, he didn't pay any attention. He continued in the dhikr of Allah Ta'ala. When he came to the second one punched him. Quran says, وَجَزَاءُ سَيِّئَةٍ سَيِّئَةٌ مِثْلُهَا. That the recompense of some evil that is done to you is you do the same evil equal to it. You can't do more than that. If you do any more than that, then you become the oppressor. Somebody gave you a punch with certain force. Only to that limit you are allowed to punch him back. But Quran says, فَمَنْ عَفَا وَأَصْلَحَ فَأَجْرُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ. If you forgive, you rectify your matters, you resolve your matters, the reward is with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. But Allah Ta'ala also says, not easy, وَلَمَنْ صَبَرَ وَغَفَرَ إِنَّ ذَلِكَ لَمِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. Whoever is patient and who forgives, then this is from the most resolute of matters. So he said this back, that was equalness, that was barabari. But he said in that is the rahmat of Allah Ta'ala. Why the rahmat of Allah? Because any wali of Allah Ta'ala, any friend of Allah Ta'ala, if a person causes inconvenience to him, he makes sabr on that. He doesn't retaliate on that. When Allah Ta'ala strikes, that person will be destroyed. Man adali waliyan faqad adantuhu bil harb. That person that bears enmity for any wali of Allah Ta'ala, any friend of Allah Ta'ala, Allah declares war against such a person. This is for a friend of Allah Ta'ala. And the second place is for the person that is involved in interest. Allah declares war against such a person. So this is a dangerous matter. So he said when he gave you back that punch, in that is a rahmat of Allah because he took revenge. Now the adab of Allah Ta'ala won't descend upon you. And he said the third person, this was his shafqat, this was the rahmat that Allah Ta'ala placed in him, that he asked you that did you even get hurt. But the Buzruk said, he said that the first person, the action of the first person, that is the actual sunnat of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That he didn't waste time in worrying that did you punch me and now I must retaliate, I must take revenge. He continued with his work. So here also we learn that tolerance. If a person has tolerance, then so far doesn't a person proceed. How far doesn't a person get? Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi, remember the great awliya, the friends of Allah, these great scholars of deen had a lot of hasidin, lot of people that were jealous of them, lot of people that were against them. That is why Hazrat Hakim Sahib rahmatullah alayhi used to say that if there are people that are against you when you're doing the work of deen, there's no need to fear and worry. You are ala minhajin nubuwah. You are upon the path of nubuwah. And if everyone is clapping hands with you and everyone is praising you, then there's something for you to get worried about. Because Anbiya alayhimus salatu wasalam had so many people that were against Anbiya alayhimus salam. So one day Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah is walking on the road. One person is walking now in public and he's swearing Imam Sahib rahmatullah. So now they came to a point where the road was now going in, so to like a fork. It was forking in two directions. One side is going to the right and on the other side is going to the left. So Imam Hanifa rahmatullah said, perhaps I'm going in one direction and this person is going in another direction. But he hasn't sworn me enough. Maybe he's still got anger in him. So Imam Sahib rahmatullah stopped over there. He said, by how much you want to swear now? You swear me, you tell me whatever you want to tell me. And when you finish, then you tell me maybe you going in a different direction, I'm going in another direction. My time is up. I'll finish on this inshallah. But we can take great lesson from this. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi, initially he used to wake up in the latter portion of the night and he used to read tahajjud namaz. But later on, one day he was walking and he heard one person speaking. So this person is telling the other person, this is the man that wakes up at the time, stays awake the entire night in tahajjud namaz. But Imam Sahib never used to read tahajjud namaz the entire night at that time. He used to wake up in the latter portion of the night. But when he heard this person speaking, he said, this man is saying, I stay awake in tahajjud the entire night, but I am sleeping at night. So from that point, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi started reading tahajjud the entire night. Every night, one khatam of the Quran for 40 years. One wudu, he read Isha, the same wudu, he read Fajr. And then after Fajr is now time for teaching. So he used to start teaching. And he was a very, very wealthy businessman as well. So Imam Sahib rahmatullahi used to go to his business. Now, two people had an argument one day. So the argument was, who is the most tolerant man of the time? Is it Sufyan Thawri rahmatullah alayhi, or is it Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi? So one person said, no, it is Imam Sahib rahmatullah. Other one said, Sufyan Thawri rahmatullah alayhi. So they said, right, let's go and test Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi. So Imam Sahib rahmatullah alayhi, imagine whole night ibadat. From Fajr right up to Zohar, he's busy with teaching and his business. And after Zohar was the time for Imam Sahib rahmatullah to rest. So he went to rest. So when Imam Sahib rahmatullah went to rest, this person now, he lived on the top floor. So when he went up, he lay down, this person came, he knocked on the door. So Imam Sahib rahmatullah came down, he said, "Bhai, what is it?" So he said that, there was a question that I had in my mind, but I forgot the question. So Imam Sahib said, no problem. When you remember, then come back with the question. Imam Sahib rahmatullah went up again. He lay down. After a little while, there's a knock on the door. He comes down. He opens the door. Same man. He said, but you remember the question? He said, up to the point that you open the door,